topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to another Ask the Expert show, where we bring you the top experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Hey, speaking of home improvement, we have such a large audience of homeowners and business owners. And, you think about roof repairs, plumbing, you think about air conditioning, but we have an area that we cover that is so important. It's called property claims adjusters. Yeah, when those insurance companies try to pay the least amount possible, and you actually have written us asking us, how come you don't have a public claims adjuster? And we do. We found one 4 or 5 months ago, and they are the top when it comes to public adjusting, a top company, and we have them today. So if you're a homeowner, if you are a business owner, you don't want to miss the show, our first show. And let me welcome David Melzer. Hi, David.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for having me again.
Hey, I love doing your show because I got to tell you, if you've ever had a claim and you've had problems collecting on that claim, a lot of people out there don't know there's companies out there like yours that can assist homeowners in getting the proper amount paid to them. And I am so glad that we found your company, because you know what? You don't want to deal with these insurance companies yourself, because their whole job is to pay you the least amount possible. Whereas David's job is to get you the most.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate reality of how you structure an insurance company is really the least amount of money they pay out is the more profitable they're going to be.
Exactly. David, tell people about your company.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's funny that you bring it up because, 9 times out of 10, the conversations we have with new clients are, hey, we didn't even know a role like you existed. People aren't aware that there's advocates other than attorneys for homeowners or business owners during insurance claims. So I own a public insurance adjusting company. We're based out of Southern California, but pretty much cover the vast majority of the West Coast and Western United States. We are, advocates, experts, really just insurance adjusters for the homeowner. The idea that the insurance company sends out an adjuster from their team and they're an advocate for you is really invalid and incorrect. That insurance adjuster is really an advocate for the business needs and goals of that insurance company. And I know, and I can speak from experience, I was one for many, many years. And, they usually have this Rolodex, this team of experts that they use as well to make sure that they pay out the claims in accordance of what they want to and what their guidelines are. We're just that same role, but against the insurance company for the homeowners. So we're here for them. We get involved in floods and fires and, any real damages that happen to your home or business and result in an insurance claim.
That's because I was going to ask you. My next question is, tell people what a public adjuster is.
Yeah. So we're licensed and bonded. It's a pretty grueling process to get licensed. It's not just, oh, hey, here you go, we're just handing out licenses. So more often than not, we are actually more experienced and go through more training and rigorous testing than the vast majority of the insurance companies' adjusters. So we are a mixture of just people that either came from the insurance companies like myself. Like my team is composed of people that either work for the insurance companies, might have worked for restoration companies, or have been in the public adjusting world for many, many years. And so we come in, we represent the homeowners, and our main goal is just to get the biggest possible financial payout for our clients during these claims, amongst a bunch of other things. A big element too, I tell people, whereas, what's your time worth? Do you have an extra 40 to 100 hours to dedicate to this insurance claim? Because that's what's going to happen. The insurance company will bury you with paperwork, with request of documentation, blah, blah, blah. And if you don't compile that and present it in a fashion that they are comfortable with, they just push it off their desk and just keep sending these requests. So other than really getting that additional financial payout for our clients, it's also just a way for you to get time back in your day and hopefully avoid fights within you and your, spouse or significant other, because it's always a time of stress. You had a flood to your house, or your roof was ripped off, or whatever it was. It's never an easy time, and it always creates a lot of stress amongst families.
David, I got to tell you, 10 years ago, I had a flood in my house, and you were so right about the paperwork and the back and forth phone calls. And I didn't know there was even a such thing as a public adjuster at the time. And they made me an offer. And a friend of mine said, "Do you know anything about the offer that was made to you?" I went, "No, I just took their word for it." And he said, "You know what? You would do well getting a public adjuster. There's no upfront money.
Yep.
They work on basically, what you get them." And I got to tell you, David, one of the things that really upset me is they weren't going to replace my whole floor. They were just going to replace what they said were the damaged tiles. And those weren't even going to match. And the difference when I got a public adjuster versus what I got on my own, thousands and thousands of dollars difference.
Yeah, it's true. It's we go through and actually run those numbers to see what kind of difference we're able to provide to our clients. And as of 2024, we get our clients on average an additional 500% on these claims. So the initial settlement for the insurance company might be $10,000. We come in and on average, we get them $50,000. So it's a huge increase. And in instances like that, we don't apply our contingency commission to the monies that were paid to our clients before we got involved. So like your instance, if we were to come in and get involved with you, let's say, for instance, they paid you $5,000 to match that tile, or to replace that specific tile, but not the rest of the home. And then you hired us. Our fee, our commission is only going to apply to everything we get for you beyond that $5,000. And so it's
wow,
if we strike out, and it's no cost to you. So, we obviously want to make sure that we're taking on clients that we know we're not going to strike out on. But yeah, it's such an easy consideration.
David, you do so much work before you even realize the first dime.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, that's definitely true. But it's like we want to provide such a value to where it comes at the end of the day when we come to our clients and say, "Hey, we got you an additional X dollars." They're like, "Okay, hey, where do we write you a check?" There's no no even concern, because they see that value that we're able to bring to them, that they understand. They're like, "Oh, hey, this team really did earn this money. Like, here, I'm going to write you a check right now," and we move on. And then that client's happy, we're happy. They usually provide us with one or two additional referrals of friends or families that need us, and it's like the best ongoing circle of work, of doing business with your community.
And David, in your business, customer service is so important, maybe even more important than a lot of other businesses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I would say compared to a lot of my competitors in the industry, that's one of the biggest things that we focus on. And I don't say that, selfishly, but I say that because we base a lot of our business, and we get a lot of referrals through review-based systems. So Yelp and Google and Facebook and things like that. Not many of our competitors work off of stuff like that. So when I tell people, how do you pick, or when people come to me and ask, how do I determine who's the right public adjuster? I say, go out there, do your own research and see what people are saying that are in a similar situation as you. Don't base it off of what I say. Don't base it off of what, maybe a competitor says, and look at what are some reviews out there about myself, my company, myself, my competitors, and listen to people who have gone through the situations and issues that you have gone through and see who's happy about it.
Yeah, David, you're dealing with situations that people weren't planning on. And so customer service is important. And we just had a guy the other day who loves your show, who said, you know what, I don't have a problem right now, but you know what, with the way the weather is in California, I might have someday. And he said, I just want you to know, I wrote down property claims consultant down just in case. And he made a great point. He said, normally if you have to have a service that you've never dealt with, he said, we used to go through Yellow Pages. Now we go through the internet. But you know what? We shouldn't decide on a company, a property claims adjuster, just on who has the nicest website. And so I wrote the number down, because you never know. And that's really true. People never know when they're going to have a flood. Someone's going to break into their house, cause damage.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And it never happens at the right time. It's right when you guys are in the midst of a move, or, someone, your son just broke their arm, whatever the case is, it never happens in the most ideal time. And it's just that you mentioned the someone breaks into your home. Those are often very disastrous moments, because people are often also very scared. It's like someone broke into my home and stole my things, or did whatever they did. Maybe they started a fire, whatever the case is. And that's something that we're always very, very successful in helping with. And it's just a time that is not ideal for people. It's scary.
Exactly. Even a fire, you don't have to have a fire. You can have major smoke damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I talk about that a lot in some of our social media that we create, is to create knowledge around the smoke damages and fire damages. Yeah. It's wild to find out exactly where the smoke particulates can make it into the home. We often utilize third-party industrial hygienists, so that we get, when they'll come in, do sampling of the home, and you can find, microscopic, not visible to the eye, cancer-causing agents throughout the home that can be just from smoke. And that helps us guide the claim and make sure that we get the homeowner their soft goods. Maybe all of their bedding needs to be removed and replaced because it's now impacted with smoke. Maybe they need to remove the insulation in their attic because of the smoke. It's something that takes the ambiguity of the insurance company's, interpretation of the damages out of the picture. So, smoke is a very scary element, because it can find its way into nooks and crannies of the home that you may not ever know.
It's got to help you, David, by seeing both sides of the table.
Yeah.
Because that's what you did. I mean, you were on the other side and you got to see how the other side works.
Yeah. And it was. I worked for the insurance companies, a couple of different ones, for about 10 years. And it's eye-opening to see the way that the insurance industry is set up. It really is set up to not drive success of the clients. They hire an insurance adjuster. That insurance adjuster comes out to pay out the claim on a benefit, on a means and structure that the insurance company created. They say, we're only going to paint the walls one coat because that's our rule, very ambiguous rule, or we're only going to replace a few tiles because we think they can match, whatever the case is. And then even taking that a step further, and you look at the structure of, okay, sometimes when insurance policies are sold through agents, agents are even to an extent compensated on a basis of the loss ratios. So now you've got, what you would hope to be your biggest advocates do have some sort of financial compensation based on the outcome of that claim. And they can't always be 100% on your side. So, and that's what we're here for.
We just got our first text, kind of surprising, up in San Francisco area. You never know who's listening. They want to know, when do they call in a public adjuster? That's a good question.
Yeah. So the question is, when do you call in a public adjuster? And that's something we often get asked. I think the answer is sooner than later, because what we do and what my company is really structured to do is offer free advice all day long, every day. It doesn't make sense for a public adjuster to get involved in every claim. And a lot more times than not, we actually just give advice to our potential clients and send them on their way, because it doesn't make sense, or the claim is too small. And I'll even tell them, hey, don't even file the claim because it's so small. Your insurance premiums are going to be impacted more than the money you're going to make, or whatever the case is. So the answer to my question is sooner than later. And if anything, it's to bounce an idea off of us. And all the people that answer the phones on my team are highly experienced in this industry, and they know the right things to tell you to say when you file that claim, or the right things to do when it comes to documentation of your claim, whatever the case is. But long story is, sooner the better to reach out to a public adjuster, because at the very least, we're going to give you the tools you need for success.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I love the way you do business, David. And, if you've got a friend out there, or a family member, or yourself that are fighting with the insurance companies right now, I'm telling you, you should give Property Claims Consultants a call. David, for those who are not watching on TV right now, let's give everybody your phone number and your website address.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's Property Claims Consultant. So our website is propertyclaimsconsultant.com. Claims is plural and consultant is singular. Or you can also or you can reach out to us directly, and our phone number is 858-289-0499. And we've got licensed public adjusters on the other end of that line, ready to talk to you, work through whatever you're working through, answer any questions you might have. I mean, even if it's not regarding an insurance claim, we're still happy to address or answer questions regarding your insurance premium to the best that we're able to, or why are my insurance rates going up so high? We're here as, call it, your one-stop shop of unbiased perspectives on the insurance world.
David, explain to people how you get paid.
Yeah, so the way that we work is usually contingency basis. So going back to the example of your home, you had the insurance company come out and they issued you a kind of subpar payment or settlement offer. If you were to have reached out to us at that point, we would work on a contingency basis. So let's just say, for instance, our percentage was 15%. So then we would charge 15% for everything we got you beyond what the initial settlement the insurance company had to offer. So, and that being said,
not all companies do that, do they, David?
No. So there's a variety of ways that we work and can work. Each state is a little bit different, but that's typically how we would work in an instance like that. When you asked the question earlier, when should I call a public adjuster? I said sooner than later. The reason why I say that is because the sooner we get involved, the lower commission fee that we usually have, the lower contingency fee that we have. And on top of that, the higher success rate we have. So if we can drive the narrative on the claim from the beginning, we're way more successful than if our clients call us and say, hey, I've been fighting with the insurance company for 9 months and I've been stonewalled. Can you help me? We can, but we're just not often as successful as we are if we get involved in the very early onsets.
Here's a text message from Joe in Marina Del Rey. Wants to know if you help a person that has a leak, if you direct them as to a reputable company to go to.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have many different restoration partners or general contractor partners that we work with. We have no financial incentive of referring them. They're just companies that we have vetted on this side of things. So on the more customer-centric side of the insurance claim world, the partners that we work with are people that are going to be similar minded, that are going to be, their main concern is the homeowner and not the insurance company. So to answer his question, we absolutely would love to connect with them and see how we can help them with finding any restoration partners or things like that.
For my final question, and this will be my hardest one, David, why should we hire your company?
Why should you hire our company? Well, we're here for you. We work for you and no one else. The big difference between our role and the insurance company's adjusters is that, we have a direct correlation of the amount of money that we selfishly want to get is going to be directly correlated with the amount of money and success we get with you and your insurance claim. We also like to direct our people to, our Yelp and Google and see past reviews and experiences of our clients that have worked with us. That's a true testament to the quality of work that we have, as well as the quality of customer service that we have. You're going through a very difficult situation, whether that be a flood or a fire or smoke damage or whatever the heck is, you're dealing with it. It's your home, your rental property, your business. And that can be traumatic, and we're here for you.
Oh, did we lose you?
For a second, but I'm here now.
Okay. But I got to tell you, we work with a lot of different types of home improvement experts across the country. And I got to tell you that I love the way you do business. And people can absolutely trust your company when it comes to claims. And we're just so glad to have you. Let's give your phone number out one more time.
Yeah, it's 858-289-0499. And that's 858-289-0499.
And your website, David?
Is property spelt out, claims, plural, consultant, singular.com. You can also find us on Instagram, on Facebook, on Yelp, on Google, and getting there with TikTok.
And David will be back with us again next month. We will be promoting that. David, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
That's David Melzer, property claims consultant. He'll be back again with us next month. We're going to take a short break. Our next show, we're going to be talking about tax relief. And the company is absolutely one of the finest tax relief companies in the United States. We're going to take a little short break. When we come back, we will have more. Thank you.
K. Bender Rembaum is a full-service community association law firm dedicated to the representation of community associations throughout Florida. On KBRLegal.com, you can learn more about their offices in Pompano Beach, Palm Beach Gardens, Orlando, Tampa, as well as throughout Miami-Dade by appointment. Several K. Bender Rembaum attorneys are board-certified specialists in condominium and plan development law and assist clients with all matters of community association legal issues while keeping them up to date on new developments that affect their associations. K. Bender Rembaum is also a well-known provider of free legal education for managers and board members. Contact K. Bender Rembaum today by calling 800-974-0680. That's 800 974-0680 to reach any of their locations. You can also visit them online at kbrlegal.com or write to them at info@kbrlegal.com.
And we are back with the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV with your hosts, Steve-O, Sophia, and their expert guests.
And we are back. This is the Ask the Expert show. I'm your host, Steve-O, and we are with you every week. We bring on the top experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. About 2 months ago, everybody asked us for the Southern California area if we would bring on a tax relief expert, and we did. We found one of the finest companies in community tax, and let me welcome our expert, Sandra Rodriguez. Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon, Steve. How are you?
I am so glad you're back. You did your first show last month, and you did such a great job. And we even had people call us after the show, listeners telling us what a great job you did.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm so happy to be back. I'm so excited for today, and I can't wait to continue to share our information and how we can help
Well, you represent
everyone.
community tax very well. Tell people about community tax.
Well, Community Tax is we are a leading tax resolution company. What we do here is we help our clients resolve tax debt with the IRS, also with the states of California and New York. So if you find yourself in a situation where, especially right now, we're in tax season, right? We're in this, season where we have to file
Yes.
our returns. We're getting there to that April 15th timeline. So this is a time frame where we know if we know that we're going to owe something, or a lot of tax laws has changed, and we've seen that now with this year, sometimes either we're having to pay a little bit more back that we weren't expecting, or we didn't think that we were going to have to pay back, and we do. And you need that help, that assistance, that resolution, because you don't have that amount at the moment to pay back the IRS. That's what Community Tax is here for. We're here to help you, get you into a resolution program, get you into something flexible, more affordable, more comfortable for you, so you don't have to stress about the IRS. There's so much other things that we need to stress about.
We are hearing so many scary stories out there about the IRS. They've got 80,000, 87,000 new agents out there. Even the part about they're carrying guns now. And they're not just going after the wealthy, are they?
No, it's not the fact that they're going after everyone. It's just the fact that they hired more people. They are continuing to hire more people, and it's not just recently. It has been during a period of time, but it's because they need more people to help, right? To help, have any of you ever tried to call the IRS? It is insane. It is insane to get somebody on the phone to be able to not just even have them answer a question, a simple question, maybe basically like, have you received my return, or when is my refund going to kick in? Just those simple questions. It takes so long for somebody to get on the phone call, but don't worry about all these people that are getting hired or that have been hired during this time frame. Worry about getting your situation of your tax debt resolved right now. Don't worry about how many people are being hired and who's gonna, give you a call,
Tell me,
anything
what
like that.
role do you play?
I'm a lead resolution analyst here in Community Tax. And what I do here is I'm one of the first people that you contact. So when you give me a call and you tell me, Sandra, I need some help. I'm in this situation. I owe $15,000 to the IRS and I don't
You
know
know,
what to do. Hello? Mr. Steve, I believe I lost you, or did you lose me? Are you able to see me? I think we got cut off. I believe we lost Steve-O, but he'll be back in a few minutes. Let's see if we can get him back on. Okay, so I believe we are having some problems right now with Steve-O getting back on, but it's okay. We're going to wait for him to come back on to continue to ask these questions that a lot of you have been able to send over because I know that a lot of you have been wanting some information when you have a situation with the IRS. But let's go ahead and continue this information while Steve gets back on. That way, we are not here to lose any time because I know there's so much information that I want to get across to everyone, especially if you're dealing with a situation with the IRS. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you. And just to kind of answer Steve-O's question, I am a lead resolution analyst here at Community Tax. And what I do here is, like I was mentioning, I'm one of the first people that you speak to. He's back on. I believe he's. Hi, Steve-O.
I think we're back. Can you hear me?
Yes, we're back. I can hear you.
Okay, that's never happened before. Let me go back to where we were talking. Hey, folks, listen, when you do a live show, I mean, this even happens with Fox TV. We get freezing, but we'd rather do a live show than a pre-recorded show. So, Sandra, let's talk about how community tax can help a person.
Great question. So, like I previously mentioned, we are a tax resolution company. So, what we do is we help when you have a tax debt with the IRS. But the key focus or the key points here to look for is if you owe more than $7,000 to the IRS, that's one first key factor that you need to consider in giving us a call. If you owe, a couple of $100s, I'm not here to want to waste your time. And I'm not here to try to get you into something or into a situation that you don't need to. I'm here to be honest from the very beginning. And if you owe more than $7,000 to the IRS, that's who you need to contact, Community Tax. If you just received an audit from the IRS and now they're telling you that you owe a certain amount of money to them because of this audit. If you ended up having to deal with a situation where unfortunately they filed your return incorrectly, and because of that, you are dealing with having to pay something back to the IRS, or you need to amend your return because of that, because the return was filed incorrectly, Community Tax is here to help you get that taken care of. We have a process of getting you into resolution programs that the IRS offers. We don't create these programs. It's based off of the IRS and the rules and regulations, but we're here to help you and get you into something flexible, affordable, and more than anything, that benefits you. We're here to work for you, not the IRS. We're not here to back them up. We're not here to, get them, all their money. We're here to help you out. And if you're in a situation where you cannot afford to pay this back right away, or you cannot afford to pay it all because you experienced a financial hardship, that's what we're here to do. So don't wait, don't hesitate, do it now. Contact us right now before it gets any worse.
It's such a pain when you owe the IRS, or if you haven't filed your taxes. When they retain you, they no longer have to talk to the IRS anymore.
Correct. So it is. Sometimes people think that if they didn't file your return this year or 2 years ago, or sometimes I even hear that it's okay, you can file 3 years, after. Do not wait for that to happen. Because what you're doing is, if for whatever reason it does turn out that you owe money back to the IRS, that time frame that you've been waiting for, the moment that you file, the IRS will automatically charge you interest, penalties, so that, let's say, $3,000 that you owed from the beginning, it's going to turn into $7, $8, $9,000. Why do you need to wait for that to increase? Do not wait or hesitate to file your returns on time. If you hear that you can wait a year, wait 2 years, wait 3 years, that you can pay that later on, whoever's telling you that is not there to help you. And that's what we're here to do, to help you, to give you the right information and get you into a resolution program to help you take care of that. If that occurred, you ended up filing returns late and it turned out that you had to owe something or had to pay something back, and you cannot do that, contact Community Tax. And that's what we're here to do, get you into something affordable and get that taken care of.
Sandra, I wish we could get you more excited about taking care of people, their problems. You know, and I got to tell, people think that when they put that sealed envelope from the IRS in the drawer, that it's going to disappear. It's going to go away. It doesn't go away, does it?
No, it doesn't. And we get a lot of our clients that when they give us a call, like I said, I'm one of the first people that you speak to. I'm the one that goes over your situation and I explain how our process works. And when we ask, it's one of the questions that we ask, when was the last time you received a notice? What did that notice say? And that's what we hear. They tell me, well, I know I received it about 2 months ago, but to be honest, I haven't even opened it. To be honest, I don't even know what they're asking for. And when I ask them, what is it, the amount that they owe, they tell me that they're not even sure because they don't want to open it up. They slipped it into that drawer and they don't want to face it. And I understand why, because it may be intimidating. It may be something that you don't want to deal with at the moment, because it is a little bit scary to deal with the IRS or having to call them and
Yes.
contact them and, face them. But that's not what you need to do. As long as you contact Community Tax, we take care of that for you. And we not only need to have you, slip those notices in that drawer, we're here to help you take those notices out. And guess what? You're not going to have to worry about them anymore, because we're going to get you into a resolution program and you're not going to have to receive those notices anymore. So that drawer, you're going to empty it out and be able to fill something else in there, because those notices are no longer going to be there.
I know that if you haven't filed for your taxes and the IRS sends you a notice, they're going to give you a gross amount. They have no idea what your write-offs are. And if a client comes to you, do you help them to put their back tax paperwork together for the IRS?
Yes, that is a great question, Steve-O. That is correct. So what the IRS sometimes does, and we were just talking about, like, when you don't file returns for a certain amount of time frame or certain amount of years, the IRS ends up or has the ability to file the return for you. And like Steve-O said, they end up just including that gross amount. They don't consider any credits, any expenses if you qualify for expenses, anything that you may be helping to get that amount that you may possibly owe down. The IRS is not going to do that for you. They're not going to care what credits you would have possibly qualified for. They're just going to want their money. So instead of you having to pay that amount back, you contact us. We will get you, if we need to amend a return, or if we're at that time frame where we are still able to file an original return, we will do that, because even though you know that you're going to owe an amount, it's best for us to take this head on at the moment, figure out what your actual balance is going to be, instead of having the IRS charge you so much more that you may not possibly even need to owe. Why let the problem get worse? We will take care of the return for you. The moment that we find out if you owe something to the IRS, we will recommend you a resolution program, whether it be if you need a payment plan because you are able to pay it off, you just need some time, or if you're in a hardship situation where you cannot pay this back and you need some help, we have those options. Don't wait until the IRS is coming and giving you those notices that they filed a return and now you owe so much more than what you needed to. It's not needed.
Well, we have a couple minutes left. Sandra, I'm going to give you probably the hardest question. Actually, it's going to be the easiest. Why should I come to Community Tax?
Well, we know that there's other resolution companies out there, but if you want something to get done correctly and something to get done at the best of your possible options, that's why community tax is your number one choice. Because we're not here, like I told you a few minutes ago, we're not here to give you information that is not correct. I'm not here to promise you something that I cannot do. That's why you speak to me from the very beginning. I'm here to guide you every step of the way. What is the best option for you? And I'm here to get you into a resolution program that is flexible for you, your current situation. And I know sometimes we are in this circumstance where we want to qualify for a hardship because we don't want to pay this back. And I understand that. But we have that conversation, you and and I let you know what, this is what the IRS is going to accept. This is your current situation. This is why you qualify for this resolution program. Or if you do qualify for a hardship where you don't have to pay everything back to the IRS or a settlement program, we definitely walk you through it. We are there every step of the way, beginning to end. And we have a team that's bilingual. So if you prefer to choose your team to only speak English, to only speak Spanish, to be bilingual, we are more than happy to assist you as much as possible and give you the best possible service. You don't have to worry that we're going to get you into resolution, or we're going to promise you a resolution that's not going to happen. That's not how it works at community tax. From the very beginning, we ensure what we're going to do for you every step of the way. We have a process with community tax, so you know that the moment that you get off the first phone call with us, you feel certain and secure that you're going to get this taken care of.
Oh, this is a great text. We just got a text in from Bob. He wants to know, he said, I tried to get a hold of the IRS for a month and a half. You can never get a hold of them. How does your company reach the IRS? That's a good question.
Yes, it is. And yes, it's very difficult. The IRS only has a general phone number that any of us can just give them a call and try to get them on the phone. And it's impossible. There's a few that do get lucky and end up getting on the call right away, but it's very difficult for many of us to try to get in contact with them. And like, Bob said, he's waiting. He's been trying for a month and a half and hasn't been able to get through. We see that a lot on a daily basis. And the difference here is that we have a team of practitioners that, because they have a license to be able to represent you and do this with the IRS and get you into a resolution program, they have a specific line to the IRS. It's called like a PPS line, where they are able to contact the IRS directly because they have the license to represent you and they have the license to be able to obtain this information from the IRS. So we don't have to wait a month and a half, 2 months to even get them on the phone. We do this as quick as possible. We start like an investigation process for our clients when we want to find out which resolution program they qualify for. And that takes just a few days. And by then, you know what we're going to be able to do to help you get this resolved. So contact community tax. Don't wait a month and a half to even get them on the phone. We're here to help you right away.
What if a person is dissatisfied with their IRS agreement? Can they seek through you alternate options?
Yes. So, and that, it can be a few situations where at the moment, if the IRS is going to get you into a payment plan with them at the moment, and if you're not able to pay this amount back right away, but they're asking you to pay this amount, you don't need to start having to get yourself in a hardship situation that you cannot afford. Do not get yourself into a payment plan that you cannot pay back, where you're going to have to deal with maybe not paying your bills on time. That's not what we're here to do. We're not here to get you into that hard financial situation. We're here to get you into a program that you are able to afford to pay back to the IRS. If you do have that option or that situation where the IRS is asking for a certain amount of money per month and you cannot pay that back, you do not need to worry about having to deal with the IRS. Contact community tax. We're here to review this with you. We're here to give you the different options that you may qualify for. And we look over all your information. We look at your financials and we let you know, hey, this is the best option for you, what the IRS is offering to you because of X, Y, and Z reasons. Or if there is something so much better for you to help you either get you into a lower payment or get you into a hardship program where you may not have to pay everything back, we will let you know that that's the option for you to help you as much as possible.
Do you think Sandra loves her job?
I do. I love being here. I love to help my clients out as much as I can.
It is so obvious. And believe me, folks, there's not a lot of companies out there like this. Let's give everybody your phone number and your website again.
Yes. So the website is communitytax.com. Communitytax.com, just the way it sounds. And our phone number is 312-379-8540. One more time, it's 312-379-8540. Don't wait until, a month or 2 months from now to give us a call. Call us right now to get this started.
Sandra's going to be back again with us next month. I apologize for all the people who texted us. We will write those questions down and we will save them for the next show. Sandra, you're amazing. Thank you so much. And we'll see you again next month.
Me. Yes, I can't wait. Thank you so much for your time and have a great day.
Thank you, Sandra. That's Community Tax. Their phone number is 312-379-8540. Just want to make sure before we leave the air that that is the see, I lost the screen, so I lost their phone number too. It's anyhow, I'm sorry about all the problems today. Sometimes that happens. Again, their number is 312-379-8540. We'll be back again with you next week with more Ask the Experts.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.